What is going on, everybody? RogersBase here, and welcome to my first One Piece reaction stream back since my massive hack. Now, I want to bring this up right at the very beginning of the reaction today, since I know a lot of you don't pay attention to my updates. My channel was literally terminated off of YouTube about 3 weeks ago while I was still off on my holiday break. A lot of people in the chat already know the story. I'm not going to go through the entire thing over again, but I do want to say that if you are unaware of what happened, if you've been gone and you weren't aware of the fact that I was hacked and you're wondering where a lot of videos went, I want to just point one video out to you, and that is right over here. If we go to this screen and you go on my channel page and you scroll down right here, there's a big video that says RogersBase was hacked. Here's what you miss. I give a full hour-and-a-half long breakdown of how I got hacked, how you could avoid getting hacked, what hacked me, everything. So like, go watch that. I won't be answering other questions about like what happened with the hack. It's all there in that video, along with the breakdown of everything else regarding the content, everything that I lost, all the subscribers that I lost because of the hack, all the memberships that got revoked. And so it was a nightmare, but I am so unbelievably happy to finally be back right now. I know there were a lot of people who are also saying like, Roger, where was your 1071 reaction? And I had mentioned on that hack stream and on a couple other places that I actually did do a 1071 reaction. That reaction I streamed on TikTok because my channel was terminated off of YouTube. I couldn't stream elsewhere, and I was out of town, and I didn't have my Twitch thing set up because my computer was hacked, so I had to do it on TikTok. I reacted to 1071. I uploaded the highlights of my reaction to my YouTube channel as well. There was nothing else worth noting in that chapter that was not in my highlighted reaction, so go check that out if you want to know what my thoughts were on some of that stuff. But enough about 1071, enough about the hack, enough about all of this. I'm just absolutely happy to be back. So without any further ado, let me hop right into my reaction to One Piece manga chapter 1071. Let me move some stuff over. Also, some of you might have noticed there was a new little intro variation that literally just got sent to me this morning by my friends over at the consoles. They're putting together the new RogersBase theme. There's actually a long version of that. That's the short version for videos, but I wanted to play it at the beginning of the stream as sort of a token of my appreciation for all of you coming back now after my return in my first One Piece stream back. Okay. With all that being said, One Piece 1072, this one is called The Weight of Memory, Germa Double Sixes, An Emotionless Excursion, Volume 28, Mass-Produced Weapons of Slaughter. And you can see we've got Caesar. Now that I know that's Caesar, you can clearly see the horns. You got Caesar, not Sentomaru's dad. You got Queen, and you got Judge. Looks like they're holding an artificial devil fruit. We've got like a weird spear-looking thing, a couple vials of, I don't know, some type of potion or something, but cool to see more of Mads. I want to know more about them. Weird that you don't see like the Stussy lady, but that is cool. Hopefully we find out more. All right, 1071, The Weight of Memory. Let's get into this. Even if the world doesn't agree, I know that she is a living, breathing person, a true and undeniable human being, a success. I am certain of it. And this one is one great step towards the creation of world peace. Dr. Vegapunk, director of Mads, Laboratory for Peace. So, okay, we're picking up right where we left off from the cover story. See, this is cool. Okay, I love that Oda's doing this now. I love this. Obviously, I know the cover stories in the past, but it's still cool that he's connecting directly the stuff from the cover story into the chapter we're reading. We saw that with the pudding one. We're seeing this with this one as well. Very cool. Okay, so we've got Bonnie on the floor going, "It hurts. I think I broke a bone." And Vegapunk's looking around. "Bonnie, are you truly hurt? We need the medical team. Help, Bonnie's hurt." Clearly she's faking it. You see that shing in her eyes. She's getting up. Distorted future. Okay, so she can age herself up on a different timeline, basically, and then become a big burly Hulk looking thing. Okay, that's a great shot of Bonnie's angry face, just a close up, slamming into Dr. Vegapunk. "Stop this, Bunny. Killing me won't age skewer." And she's stabs right into his back. Poor little Vegapunk is screaming. You get, instead of blood, you get little happy stars and hearts popping out of him. Pop, 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 pop. And now he's a little kid. Oof. Curse you. Is this shining material supposed to be my age? You've turned me into a powerless child. Give me back the sparkling gems of my experience. What? Don't worry, my powers don't work on living things indefinitely. Now, you said there's a good reason, so let's hear it. Why did you kill my father? Getting right into the goods, Bonnie and Vegapunk Kuma lore. This is what I want to see. But Bonnie, if I tell you, then you'll... ... Back to the red port. We've got Kuma still climbing up the red line. There's no way that he can get to the top. If I tell you why, Bonnie, it will only hurt you. That is why I made the promise to Kuma that I would never tell you the reason why. And he's still, little by little, robot climbing onto the wall. Bonnie does not look satisfied with that answer. You had a good reason for killing my father, but you can't tell me why? I mean, what do you think? I'm some kind of idiot? He's like, no, not at all. Please let me down. The decision to take away his free will came from none other than Kuma himself. You're a liar. My father would never choose to die and leave me behind. You killed him. It was hard for me too. I mean, I don't even want to remember it. Kuma was a great man. I am proud of my good friend. I love him with all my heart. And that is why I cannot tell you. Please, Bonnie, please, you must understand. And meanwhile, he's still climbing up the wall. Bonnie's not taking that for an answer, slamming down on a child Vegapunk. Say it. I can't accept a useless answer like that on faith. Little baby Vegapunk's like, this is abuse, please stop. Beep, 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 beep. Okay, something's going off. Huh? Bonnie, that's not what you think it is. It's nothing. It certainly doesn't have anything to do with Kuma, bruh. How are you the smartest man in the world and you're still making dumb mistakes like that? All right, so, it's got a Kuma paw on the door. And she's like hell it doesn't. You see the paw print. What? Oiled shock. Bonnie. This is like one of the giant pain things from Thriller Bark. Huh? And Bonnie's huffing. That's also a great shot right there, too, of Bonnie's face with the shadows and her standing right in front of the giant paw print. Oiled shock. Okay, so little baby Vegapunky's scurrying into the room. Memories. What? That's right. A scholar in the West Blue once said that people lose 21 grams of weight after they die. In other words, that is the weight of a human soul. It's fascinating. The soul really exists. We could observe it. Your powers take pain supposedly invisible and give it form, so that it can be foisted off onto others. It's like sending a peripheral nervous system signals via radio instead. So what about the mind? And the heart then? Mental images, memories, these things are signals emitted by neurons. So how heavy are they? How big? And you got Kuma. Yo, look at Kuma back in the day. He's got his Henley on. He's got his glasses, his bandages and everything. You're saying you want me to produce memories and to show them to you. You want me to embarrass myself? So we're going to have a second memory user then, because obviously we already have Pudding being able to take out and manipulate memories. So it kind of makes sense that Kuma could do it too, now that this is being set up. If he could take pain out, why couldn't he take memories out? He's got a weird power we don't quite understand. Please, you must. It's a great chance for, it's a chance for great scientific leap. I'll be the only one who looks at your memories, I swear. And Kuma's straight up like, no, don't look at my memories. I don't want you seeing my browser history, Vegapunk. Pretty please? I just want to see. Come on, I promise. I won't kink shame you, Kuma. Don't you dare touch it, Bonnie. Don't touch that. That is pain. You should know how Kuma's powers work. Enough pain to be lethal. No. Shoot Kuma off the wall. Don't let him reach Marijoa. I know how my father's powers work very well. Ooh. Hold him down. No, finish him off. He's still alive. And he's holding him back. Dude, I love that this is paired with Kuma climbing the red line and having the Marines taking him down while Bonnie is trying to get his memories back. This is great. All civilians leave at once. This is my father's memory, isn't it? Oh, man. Oh, man. She's reaching out to touch it. You got, again, Oda with the shading this chapter, where you see, like, the pain of the memory almost like washing over her face as a shadow. And meanwhile, you got Kuma climbing up the wall. It's awesome. Labo phase Egghead. Okay. What? What? Are you kidding me? Rob Lucci climbed all the way up here? I'm sorry, but it seems we had a system malfunction. It's a good thing that Zoro and Brook are down there. They should be able to hold their own. You see, it's 2 against 3, and it depends on how they fight. No, look closer. The odds are even worse than that. What? The Seraphim have reached us too. There's Jinbei, there's Kuma, there's Mihawk, there's Boa. It's now 2 against 7, and the enemy is now all elite units. Look at little Mihawk there with the sword too. I love it. I love this. Damn. They must have summoned them while the barrier was on the fritz. No. Cypherpole would not have made the call to bring them here. The Seraphim are equipped with just enough personality to make decisions for themselves according to the circumstances of battle. So they sensed they had a brief window when the barrier was down. I didn't even give them the order to come here, so we can't send them back down now. The dome's already closed. Cypherpole 0 has made a grave miscalculation. Here on this phase, we are higher on the authority hierarchy. 5 Elders, Vegapunk, Sentomaro, Authority Chip, which is Cypherpole. So still, the Seraphim will be to our benefit instead. Only if our orders get through, though. Until then, they are a maximum level threat. So I got to get down there. You got Lilith running down there, Edison running down there. I just hope the 2 outside can hold things down. And I'm going to go with you. Edison, Lilith, do as you're doing. And Lilith's like, shut up, I don't take orders from you, Baka. All right. This is so sad. Mosshead dies in the line of duty just before we reach the One Piece. Sanji. Oh, how sad. How sad. And just before we reach the One Piece, too. You know what? It had to happen. Sorry, Mosshead. Stupid. Nami's about to smack him going, look, you're going to die, too. This is trouble for the whole crew. What are you doing? The Seraphim is absolutely loyal to all of Nami's orders. I mean, come on. Do we really have to save him, though? Don't second guess it. This is serious. Also, what the heck is Frankie calling him? Twirly Fim? Is that a new nickname? I don't remember Frankie calling him Twirly Fim before. All right. Okay, meanwhile, we got the GOATs. We got my MVP of Whole Cake Island, Brook. Right next to my MVP of the East Blue, we got Zoro. All right, why does he look like that? Well, he's supposed to... Oh, that's right, because Brook never met... Oh, that's right! Because Brook never met Kaku. Why does he look like that? Well, he's supposed to be a giraffe, but he didn't quite look like that before. Cut him down, though, and he'll be dead just like anyone else. Assuming you can cut me. Noah, well, we're going to get awakened giraffe with hockey? Who cares? Handle the shit, Brook. He's putting his sword in his mouth. Brook's like, you got it. Nose pistol going on in. Zoro's blocking it like a champ. Kilimanjaro. Look, I just got done fighting plenty of wriggling things back at Wano Country. At this point, it's getting tiresome. He fought off the Grim Reaper himself. What do you think an awakened giraffe is going to do? Nothing. Kill this man, Zoro. All right. Destroy the lab before Vegapunk comes out, Seraphim. You got the Seraphim down there again. Once again, so cool to see them. Looking awesome. Mihawk and Boa. Little Mihawk and Boa, they're the best. I love it. I just think Kilimanjaro as a play on Kilimanjaro as a giraffe's attack. It's goofy, but I like it. Kilimanjaro. All right, let's go. Oh, no. Oh, no, they're going to destroy the lab. No! And you got Kuma getting ready. Mihawk getting ready. You see the little lasers coming off of him. Usopp screaming. Nami holding on to him. Now, that is quite a light show. Go ahead and finish our mission for us. Chomp, what is this? Huh? Did you... You even got a little... you got a little Hattori going on. What the heck is this? Kaku? What do you... Oh, stop. Whoa! Oh, my God! Whoa! I read Stussy and then I saw the Devil Wings. What the heck is this? Stussy? What did I do? I only put him to sleep. And now, Lucci, I'll ask you to do the same. What? What? Clone of Miss Bucking? Miss Bucking's name is Stussy? Clone of Miss Buckingham Stussy. Rocks Pirates. I'm like seeing one thing after another. Mad's clone experiment, successful subject number 1, Stussy. Why the hell do you have vampire wings? What is this? She sucks Kaku's blood or something? Is she like a succubus? Are we getting succubussy? Succubus, Stussy, succubussy? I'm here for it. Oda, I don't know what I did for you to deliver this greatness unto me. For us to get a succubus Stussy, my number 1 wifer from Whole Cake Island. But Oda, hold this big, fat W right now. But why is she a So obviously the thing in the beginning of the chapter was talking about her. The first successful clone, the human being. But why is she biting Kaku and Lucci? What did I do? I only put him to sleep. And now, Lucci, I'm going to ask you to do the same. Clone of Miss Buckingham Stussy. Rocks Pirates, Mad's clone experiment, successful subject number 1, Stussy. That is a goddamn mouthful that Oda's putting in there right now for succubussy. What? But so, okay. But okay, this is the end of the chapter. Wait. So, what did I do? I only put in, of all the things I was expecting from this chapter, I will tell you right now, Stussy being some weird succubus vampire double agent, and also being a clone of Miss Bucking, and ratting out Lucci and Kaku, not what I expected. If Lucci is about to be low diffed by Stussy, that just goes to bring back everything that Oda said way back at the beginning of the time skip. The people in paradise weren't ready for the new world. Doesn't matter if you got a Wiccan devil fruits, you're a giraffe and a leopard. What are you going to do against a succubus? Also the clone and Bucking. See, it's like my mind is being blown 6 ways to Sunday with all these different revelations. So Stussy is the name of Miss Bucking. That is her full name, Miss Buckingham Stussy. Stussy was on the Rocks Pirates, but based on what we saw in the cover story, Stussy seemingly was part of Mads. This would maybe explain why they didn't show her face completely. Remember we had review time. Remember we had this conversation during the last chapter where I was saying, why didn't they show Stussy's face? There must be a reason as to why they didn't show Stussy's face. We even talked about this on the Reverie as well. This is clearly why. But I am so curious about what she actually is and how the clones work. Like, do the clones work the same as the Seraphim? Because you know how the Seraphim still have the devil fruit powers of their previous owner. Has Stussy, as in Miss Bucking, always had this devil fruit power? As in, does she still have it? And is this Stussy running around right now with this power too? So we've got 2 succubus running around the world. But then, see, I'm wondering if she's a succubus, if she's a vampire. Because, see, this is sick. Oda, go to this week 10 out of 10. Because if Stussy has, the original Stussy, Bucking, has a vampire devil fruit, let's just say that, and Miss Bucking bit somebody, aka Weevil, and turned them into a vampire, because Weevil always had all those weird scars where he looked like a corpse anyway, and people were predicting that he was with Gecko Moria or something. Ain't no way. This, and then also, so was he like a failed clone? Was he some big fat failed clone of Whitebeard that happened? If she was the first successful one, because Bucking we know is old, so she must have been running around for a long time, and this must have happened when Mads back in the day was founded with Vegapunk and Caesar and Judge and Queen. So is Weevil, aka Whitebeard Jr., a failed clone of Whitebeard that maybe died and was brought back to life by Stussy as a vampire? But also, Stussy can't be a vampire. She can't be, for a very specific reason. That devil fruit already exists. I'm looking this up right now so I know the actual name of it. Hold on. This is from one of the video games. I think it was Unlimited World. There's a character, here we go, the bat, but see, this could be his way around it. Oh! So the devil fruit of the bad guy in that One Piece game is the Bat No Me model vampire, which gives the ability to turn the users into a vampire, eaten by Patrick Redfield from Unlimited World Red. So, meaning that it's a Bat No Me model vampire. They could still have like a Hito no Me vampire. Like they could do Hito no Me model Dracula or something, or like Hito no Me model Succubus, or I don't know, man, or like maybe we get like the Devil no Me model Succubus. I don't know. There's a lot of ways he can get around this. So you know what? Because the name it's classified as Bat No Me, he could probably still have a vampire. I'm just, there's layers to this. We have to go in order. We talked about Miss Bucking. Her name is Stussy. Miss Bucking was cloned to create the Stussy we know and love today. At some point, Whitebeard was probably cloned, or they tried, and they made Weevil. And then I bet that this Stussy that's running around today from behind the scenes in Cypherpole broke Weevil out and like freed him from the government or something and let him out of here. And now he's running loose with her original. But then the other thing that's mind-blowing to me is she was in Mads with Judge and Caesar and Queen, but was also on Rocks with the original Whitebeard, which is when, oh my God, dude. If she was on Rocks with the original Whitebeard and she looked like that, she may very well be Whitebeard Jr.'s mom. There is a slight chance that if Stussy was looking like this back in the day, that Whitebeard might have inserted his One Piece. You know what I'm saying? Because if she's looking like this, he might have found the all blue. So Whitebeard Jr. may very well be the slobby fat kid of Whitebeard. But also he could be a clone. But also he's got the weird things around him, the stitches, which make me think he's a corpse, which make me think she's like a vampire. But I also think with her looking like that, she's a succubus. Because that to me looks more like Morrigan from Darkstalkers than it looks like Dracula or a vampire. But then on top of all of that, we don't know if this Stussy is a devil fruit user or if the original Stussy was a devil fruit user and they successfully cloned her and then she's got her devil fruit power. Man's experiment successful subject number 1, Stussy. And then on top of all of that, because there are layers to this reveal, on top of all of that, we now know, because Stussy, aka Miss Bucking, is old, and based on the way this chapter started, with even if the world doesn't agree, I know she's a living, breathing person, a true, undeniable human being. It was a success. I am certain of it, and this is one great step towards the creation of world peace. How many clones are running around? And how many years ago was this that this successful clone happened? Because I don't even want to speak this into existence, but I'm going to say one thing. I know Oda likes his Star Wars. I'm gonna preface this with this, because I know this is gonna get me hate, but I have to be real, okay? I don't want to say this out loud though. Oda, I'm prefacing what I'm about to say with I have faith in you, okay? I have faith in you. Fans, do not come after me, please. Please do not come after me for what I'm about to say. This is a hypothetical. I don't, in my heart, believe Oda would do this. This is just a hypothetical, and I'm putting it out there as something that I would be very, very upset about if he did it, okay? I'm just throwing this out there. Please, Oda, please, for all that is good and holy in this world, please, 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 I'm saying it one more time, please, do not, through some weird story revelation or story change, make it where Luffy is like a clone of Roger. Or that there's some extra cloning thing to Luffy and Ace. None of that. Ace, I would accept a little more because of the whole thing with Portkis, and that would also explain like the long gestation period, but just don't make Luffy a clone of Roger. Please. I don't want Luffy, I don't want Luffy to be a clone of anybody. Honestly, I don't want Luffy to be a clone of anyone. I don't want Luffy to be a clone of the original Joy Boy. I don't want Luffy to be a clone of Roger. I don't want any of that shit. Please. I'm serious. Please, Oda, don't do that. Because I could see it now. I could see that happening. Because right now, looking at this right now, knowing there's an existence of clones, there's one name that's popping in my head instantly. Who is involved with the world government, who we never saw the original corpse of, who looks like somebody else, who has sword powers. Like looking at, and is currently here in this area because she was off with Smoker and the kids from Punk Hazard. Like there is a high likelihood, knowing clones exist, that Tashigi is now a clone of Kuina. That's a high likelihood. And that I'm okay with. But again, Kuina, Tashigi, Zoro, Luffy, they're all around the same age. So I think, and we don't, oh shit. Because we don't know Luffy's mom. We don't know Luffy's mom. As I'm talking through it, I'm getting really worried. I'm actually getting worried that there's going to be something where Luffy's a clone of somebody. And I would hate that so much. Again, I have faith in Oda. I do. And obviously that's taken it a bunch of steps beyond where we are right now. We just found out about the existence of clones. But I'm a One Piece reader, as are all of you. You know he does this stuff to set other things up in the future. I have faith that Luffy won't be. But I want to put it out there just so it's out there so people don't get mad at me if it ends up happening. Because it's happened before. I just want to put it out there. If Luffy ends up being a clone of somebody, I will not be thrilled. It would not be great to me. But maybe Oda would know how to handle that. But the clone thing, knowing that there's, because we haven't even talked about everything else that's in this chapter. There's a lot. I'm still in my review portion. Knowing that clones are out there in the same chapter that we now know there are multiple memory users, because you've got pulling and manipulating memories. You've now got Kuma able to take out memories, which then means that the Seraphim Kuma could do the same thing. So we've got 3 memory users running around right now. People that can pull and manipulate memories and put them into things. So we've got 3 memory people and now clones running around, which there are a minimum of 2. Minimum. Probably 3 already that we know of. Stussy, Whitebeard Jr., and presumably Kuina/Tashigi. It's weird because I don't know how to describe or explain the emotion I'm feeling right now, because with what I'm seeing on the page, just with what was on the page, I think this is all super hype and I love this. But again, as a One Piece reader for 20 years, I can see where this could go wrong very, very, very quickly. In terms of clones and memories and all this other stuff. And to me, knowing Oda and what he likes to do in terms of subverting expectations for the reader, the clone and memory stuff could all very well come into play in a way that I don't vibe with later in the story. But for the purposes of this chapter, and for the purposes of what's revealed here with Stussy and with Kuma and Bonnie, it's 10 out of 10. If like, again, it's weird because this, again, seems like one of those story things that if used too frequently as a scapegoat for answers for a lot of questions we've had in the story, like in the past, I won't be thrilled. But if he uses it sparingly, right? If he sparingly does, by the way, this person's a clone. By the way, this person had their memories taken away. Like, that is actually really hype. Because the memory thing, again, without even getting into the stuff with Kuma and Bonnie yet, the memory thing, the potential for the world government to have the power of Kuma via the Seraphim Kuma, which obviously Vegapunk created, the world government having the ability to pull people's memories is very fascinating for Void Century stuff, for Marijoa, for Imu. I think all of that could come into play eventually. But I think the thing that's worth noting while we're on the chapter right now is Vegapunk kept this a secret from even Bonnie, that Kuma can pull memories in addition to pain. He can pull intangible things out of the body. Also, because I have to bring this up, because this just fired off a synapse in my brain. Vegapunk says, let me read this out loud. People lose 21 grams of their weight after they die. In other words, that is the weight of a human soul. The soul exists, we can observe it. Big Mom has the soul fruit, where she can take people's souls and put them into other things, and can take people's lifespan. Can Kuma, with the ridiculous powers that he has, can Kuma do the same thing? If he can pull memories, and he can pull pain, and he can pull intangible things, the mind, the heart, mental images, memories, he essentially has a better version of Big Mom's fruit. Right? Because instead of just taking the soul as a whole, he can pick and choose what he wants. He could take the mind. He could take memories. He could take people's pain. He could take mental images even. Like, he can literally just sparse up a soul and take what he wants and dole it out to other people, instead of just taking the soul outright and putting it into something. That's almost better. The only difference being that Big Mom, I'm slobbering all over myself. I gotta get some water. I gotta take this off too. I gotta take this sweater off too, because I'm sweating thinking of the possibilities. Kuma can take every little bit of the soul, mind, pain, mental images, memories, everything. He could dole them out and turn them into physical manifestations that he can then push into other people. But Big Mom takes this stuff outright. She takes the full soul and puts it into something else. So there's like good potential for Kuma's powers in a way that Big Mom does not have. Kuma, for example, say you have a traumatic memory that holds you back. Kuma, can he pull that memory out of someone and throw it away? And then allow that person to live a good, long, happy life. Like, his fruit, knowing what we know that it's not just pain, he could do any number of things now. And like I said, it's almost like a better version of Big Mom's fruit. It's fascinating. I love it. I love it. I love it. This also explains so much, because knowing what this fruit does now in entirety, and knowing that there's all these pacifistas running around, and there's a Seraphim Kuma, and the Seraphim have the devil fruit powers of the original user, like, this is a really good secret to Vegapunk to have. Because if Vegapunk did not tell the government the full scope of Kuma's power, and they just know the pain thing and being able to touch himself in warp places. Like, it's not warping. I said warping in my old review, and someone was like, actually, Roger, it's not warping, it's pushing. Okay, whatever. It's fine. You know what I mean. When I say warping, I mean he touches himself, he pushes himself somewhere else, okay? I know it's not warping, but I'm calling it warping for the purposes of warping, okay? If that's all the world government knows, and they don't know the extent of the memory thing, I think that is such a good weapon against them. That Vegapunk, like, has he utilized the memory thing to create Punk Records? Like, I need to know the timeline of when clones came into being, when he discovered this about Kuma's memory, when he took Kuma's memories. Well, Kuma took his own memories, obviously, but like when Vegapunk alerted him of this, and they kind of discovered this about his powers. I gotta know when all of this happened. Like, at what point in the timeline did all this stuff go down? I'm blown away by this one. And as I'm talking through and I'm reading like more about this chapter and seeing some of these shots, like getting Zoro and Kaku, if only a little bit of it, even with the little joke in there with Kilimanjaro, and then the shocking reveal that Stussy's going against Lucci and Kaku, and Sanji's grade A joke about, too bad Zoro dies right before the One Piece. And these shots of like the Seraphim, and the stuff with Bonnie. Like, I really think we're looking at one of the best chapters of Egghead right now. And Egghead has had some really, really, really good chapters. Right, with Law versus Blackbeard, and Lucci's return. We've had some really, really good chapters of Egghead. This might be top 3. Because the repercussions for the story of this one, clones, multiple memories, and so then what is going to happen? So because obviously Bonnie said, I know how my dad's power works. So she must know, like, I'm curious if the paw looks different. You know how the paw before was pink that had the pain? I'm wondering if this paw is like light blue or something. And she knows that if she touches this one, she's going to regain all the memories and the mental images of her father. Like, is Bonnie about to touch this and literally go into an Oda flashback? And visualize everything from her father's point of view from when he chose to give himself up and become the pacifista. Like, I think that would be such a sick way for Oda to go into the next flashback, would be for her literally to enter the flashback by touching the memories. Also, I gotta say, all right? I mentioned this when we saw it for the first time, when they all got their new outfits. But Bonnie on Egghead, Egghead looking Bonnie, 10 out of 10 One Piece girl, without a doubt. That outfit does wonders, and the way that he's drawing her face during these revelations about Kuma and the memories, she's gorgeous. Like, he's making her look so pretty. Where Bonnie's always kind of been a goofball, but like, she looks gorgeous here. I'm just looking at this page again. I'm on page, what is this? Page 8 and 9 of the chapter. With this whole thing, this back and forth with Kuma, you want me to embarrass myself? It's a great chance for a scientific leap. There's enough pain to be lethal. Like, the whole thing, this, oh my God, man. And then to end with Stussy again. And that stuff with her being a clone of Bucking, who was in the Rocks Pirates, who was also in Mads, who was the first successful clone, which was then brought up in the very beginning. It comes full circle. And even how the cover story with Judge and Queen and Caesar lead into this with the old Mads facility. Like, this is peak One Piece right here. This is one of the best, if not top 3 best of all of Egghead Island. And I have a lot of questions now. I gotta know, who else is a clone? I gotta know, did the original Stussy have the succubus power, or did this Stussy get the succubus power via Cypher Pole? Because remember chat, remember me, think back to Eni's lobby when Kaku got the devil fruit and when Khalifa got the devil fruit. They got the devil fruits from the government. So if Stussy, this clone of Miss Bucking, was a double agent for Cypher Pole, did she get a devil fruit through the government? Or did she always have this devil fruit, infiltrated as a double agent, and now this reveal's happening, and they find out that she's got a devil fruit? Because Lucci looks shocked, as does Kaku. But Kaku, this line from Kaku, this 2-word line could mean so much. He says, huh? And then afterwards you see Sussy's face and he just says, did you, ... You see her chomping down and Kaku goes to sleep. Presumably meaning, did you, context clue, did you, implying, did you suck my blood? Did you put me to sleep? What are you doing? Like, implying that he knows already that she's got a power. But even if Kaku knew, maybe Kaku and Stussy have a little thing going on in the back. And that Lucci was unaware of this and Kaku somehow knew. But I mean, she literally one-shotted and awakened Kaku. That's crazy. Like, put that in perspective, what we're looking at right now. Stussy from Whole Cake Island one-shotted and awakened Kaku. Awakened. Like, what? Because what is that going to mean for Lucci then? If she says, what did I do? I only put him to sleep, and now Lucci, I ask you to do the same. Like, my guess is that 1073 might be Stussy versus Lucci, which to me is like incredible. Stussy versus Lucci could be so sick. If we get an awakened Lucci versus Stussy with the succubus devil fruit power, and she can potentially awaken as well? Bruh. Thank you, by the way, to Max. I'm coming through with a massive donation saying, yo, love this chapter. I love you too, buddy. Thank you for being here. Thank you to everybody who's donated so far. Thank you to all the new members. Thank you to all of you. We're going to get to you. I'm still in my review. I'm still in my review portion right now. I haven't even gotten to the thumbnail yet. I'm still reviewing the chapter. We're 45 minutes into this. I'm still reviewing the chapter. I'm not even at theories yet. I'm not even at super chats yet. I'm not even at the thumbnail. I'm still in the review portion because I got to work this through myself before I talk with all of you. If next chapter we get Stussy versus Lucci, and we get the reveal of Stussy's devil fruit power and whether or not the original Miss Bucking had it, and more information on Mads, fire. If we get next chapter, Bonnie going into an Oda flashback using the memories of her father to see things from his perspective of when he gave himself up to Vegapunk, and potentially stuff with the revolutionaries, that could also happen next chapter. Additionally, we could jump back to Luffy and get more with him as well. There's a lot of different directions Oda could take this next week. And there's no break. It says here next chapter in 6 days. So, no break. We're getting a new chapter next weekend. Fire. We could also find out, like I said, maybe because maybe did Vegapunk, you know, in 1071 when he was on the Den Den Mushi, maybe Vegapunk was talking to Stussy. Because she's going to lose her position within Cypher Pole by being a double agent for Vegapunk. So is Stussy loyal to Vegapunk? Is Stussy loyal to us? Now I'm thinking about it. Wait. Oda is a goat. Because if Stussy is the one that Vegapunk was talking to on the Den Den Mushi and it wasn't Smoker or Tashigi or something, that means right now, currently, we, the boys, the Straw Hat Pirates, have an ally who was within the world government. That means that if Stussy is looking to help Vegapunk and putting Lucci and Kaku to sleep so they don't get to them, that means Stussy's on our side fully. And then that makes me wonder, okay, if she's loyal to Vegapunk, would the other clones also be loyal? Meaning, which I guess Tashigi would be, that makes sense. Cause Tashigi works for the, oh my God. Cause Tashigi, if she's Kuina, if Kuina is a clone, if Tashigi is a clone of Kuina, and they cloned Kuina, and Tashigi is loyal to the government and Vegapunk, and obviously when she was in danger with Smoker, they went to Vegapunk, that would mean she's loyal to her too. She's loyal to him. I'm losing it. My brain is melting right now. I love this. Again, my only concern about all of this, also because she was on the rocks too. Wait a minute, because she was also in the rocks too. Stussy was also in rocks. Meaning we could get definitive answers with Stussy and the Straw Hats if she's on our side and she's going to give us information and help Vegapunk. We could get answers about the government, the truth behind the inner workings of Cypherpole and all the rest of the government. And if Stussy is the clone of Miss Bucking who was in Rocks, like, do the clones retain the memories of the previous person? Does she have memories or know the truth about Rocks? Did that carry over? Through Vegapunk's research, does she have memories of Stussy's time, the original Stussy, aka Miss Bucking, in Rocks when she was younger? Or is Stussy, as a clone, her own person, doesn't have Miss Bucking's memories and won't give us information about Rocks pirates? But she could, and that is exciting, that she could. She could give us info. But then again, if Whitebeard Jr., aka Weevil, is a clone of Whitebeard, and he doesn't have memories of being Whitebeard, that would then lead me to believe that this Stussy does not have memories of being in the Rocks Pirates either. But knowing Vegapunk and knowing that she's a clone, that means Vegapunk must have known the original Miss Bucking, and he knew this about Kuma, so he might have inserted the memories to have a double agent in the government to help us eventually when we get here. I love this. Whatever, man. I love this. I've been going for an hour. I haven't even gotten into theories. I haven't even gotten into super chats. I want to get into that stuff. We got to show the thumbnail. We got to do a lot. I haven't even had literally one sip of my coffee. Hold on. Give me a second. Wait. Like, as I'm talking through it, I know this might seem hyperbolic, but as I'm talking through it and discussing the potential for what this could mean for the story, this is potentially like one of the best chapters I've read since reviewing One Piece. Because I started way back in Dressrosa, like midway through Dressrosa. It wasn't midway through, it was like around when Usopp got observation, is when I started. And I've been doing weekly videos since then, with the exception of the break I took during the beginning of Wano when I didn't like Big Mom's Amnesia. I've been doing it every week since then. I don't think there's been a chapter outside of like some of the peak Reverie chapters and some of the big lore chapters like at the end of Zoe and Wano that has as much potential for the overall story as this one. I'm really blown away. I'm really genuinely blown away. This is the best possible way to come back with a chapter in the new year is to discuss 1072. This is true. I mean, this is truly one of the best. Thinking about all the things that this could mean for the story moving forward, this is one of the best. The only way I would ever rescind that statement is, like I said, if Luffy ends up being a clone, and it's done in a way in which I'm not a fan of. I don't want any clones. Period. Straight up, I don't want any clones. I don't want clones. I don't want any clones for Luffy. Everybody else, you can have more clones running around out there. That's fine. Keep Luffy out of it. I don't want a Luffy clone. That's it. Anyone else you want to clone, do whatever, fine. Or they want to kidnap Luffy to try to make a clone of him, like that would be fine. Wait, time out. Wait, before, oh jeez. Wait. If the world government has the technology to clone people, I would not be opposed to Luffy being cloned and them attempting to replicate his devil fruit power via a clone, and Luffy being a true non-clone human being with hopes and dreams and aspirations is able to overcome his clone or something. Like, that would be cool. I'd be okay with Luffy being cloned. I just don't want Luffy to be a clone. But again, I don't think Oda's gonna do that. I feel like Oda I don't think he's going to do that. I don't think he's going to do that. And I certainly wouldn't want them to clone Luffy and then have that be a whole big thing in the story. I'd want it to be almost like a gag, like an Oda gag. You know what I mean? But I just don't want him to be a clone. That's all. That's all. But everything else in this chapter, 10 out of 10. Fantastic. I love it. Love the succubus power for Stussy. Love the stuff with Kaku. Love the Seraphim stuff. I love it. Wow. All right. Let me pull this up. Give me a second. Let me see this. Here we go. Boom. I type in gameplay. Let me make sure this is open. Let me show you guys James's thumbnail for the week. Let's pull this up. Though I'm not going to make the mistake of having this open before it's ready. Okay, so here we go. Thumbnail reveal time. Let me also go to the right folder so I have this. Hold on. Here we go. Let me download it. I'm trying to do this so I don't get the preview, though, is the only thing. I'm sure it's going to be Stussy, though. If he doesn't do Stussy, I'd be shocked. Okay, let's see. Did James okay, it's Stussy. It's Stussy. It's Stussy. It's Stussy. It's Stussy. I was like, did James do Stussy? Indeed he did. Indeed. Oh no, my camera. Oh no. Oh no, what just happened? Oh my God, no, my camera. No, 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 no. What just happened? What just happened? Oh no. My camera froze right as I was showing Stussy. I got frozen in my tracks. Succubusy stopped me. Hold on. Oh my gosh, what just happened? My camera! Oh no, now my camera's gonna be all laggy and stuff. Wait. Let me deactivate this. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Alright, hold on. Succubusy, wait a minute. Deactivate. Activate again. Come, okay. Oh, we're back. Whoo! Okay, that would have been bad. She really froze me dead in my tracks, man. Wow. James, 10 out of 10. Brilliant. Absolutely, positively brilliant. Love to see this. Love what you did with Stussy. Love the colors. Love the red and the pink. Love the wings. Beautiful. I would not have chosen any other panel. This is the panel to end all panels. She put the camera to sleep. Yeah, right. Exactly right. I saw her and then right away before I could do anything, sneak attack, bite. And I'm frozen. That is really gorgeous though. James, well done. Well done this week. Incredible. His thumbnails never miss. I agree. They never, ever miss. Oh, God. What a chapter, man. I'm blown away by this one. Really blown away. Okay. Let me go back to here, and I want to read some of actually, you know what? No, let's go back to here. Why not? Because, honestly, that looks better for the screen anyway. That looks good, doesn't it? You guys would rather look at Stussy than just a giant shot of my face when we're going through Super Chats. So let's do this. Let me do this. Here we go. Bada bing. Bada boom. Let me read some of these Super Chats because we have a lot of them. We got to go all the way back. Here we go. This first one comes from Chris Tash, who said, if Kuma can take memories, that's maybe how Vegapunk was able to split his knowledge and personality into other things. Bingo. We talked about that a little bit with the stuff with the souls. Shuta Kamiya super chatted and said, Sanji was calling himself a Seraphim, taking orders from Nami, and so Frankie then called him Twirly Fim. As a play on that. Okay, because in the moment, I was thinking about all the other stuff that was revealed, and I'm like, what was Frankie talking about, calling him Twirly Fim? I'd never heard that name before. That's totally what he was referencing. You're completely right. Completely right. That is definitely what he was doing. He called him Twirly Fim because he was a Seraphim for Nami. Exactly. Good call, Shuta. David Ortiz super chatted and said, Gear 5 Luffy and King of Hell Zoro tag team would be OP. Overkill even for an admiral, and now imagine if Yamato fought with them. That is Final War vibes. You're bringing up something that I honestly forgot to even bring up during my review when I was mentioning the different directions the story could go in next chapter. I almost forgot Kizaru's on his way there. Like, how wild would it be if Luffy and Zoro and Brook and all the rest of them fight Kizaru before we even leave Egghead? And Stussy's on our side, like... Luffy and Zoro versus Kizaru? I think Gear 5 Luffy and Zoro take it. I really do. I think it'll still be difficult for them, but I think they could do it. I think Gear 5 Luffy and Zoro together can beat Kizaru. Almost assuredly. And then if the rest of the Straw Hats are teaming with them, I think it might be over for him. Kizaru would need backup. He would need the other Seraphims on his side. He would need, I don't know, some other major Vice Admirals and stuff that back him up. Honestly, I'm with Vizoff. Honestly, I kind of think Gear 5 Luffy could do it on his own right now. I do actually think Gear 5 Luffy could take down Kizaru. But I think it would be easier if Gear 5 Luffy and Zoro do it together. But I think he can also solo him. I think you're right. Okay. Rob Harley super chatted saying, I don't care if she's a clone of Weevil's mother. Stussy just keeps getting better and better. She can bite my neck any day, my boy. Let's go. The possibilities open up. What if Weevil is a failed Whitebeard clone? And big stretch, no pun intended, to Shigi. Rob, obviously we discussed that during my review. I'm right there with you. I think Weevil and Tashigi are who you should be thinking about in terms of clones. You're on the right track, and I'm right there with you. She could bite my deck any day of the week. Reagan's got to make a Stussy cosplay. You heard it here. She's already got the wings. She did Morrigan and who's the other character from Darkstalkers? There's Morrigan, and then there's the other one with the red. She did her. I think she's got devil wings. I'm pretty sure we have devil wings in our garage. So this would be relatively easy for her to do Stussy, I think. Lilith, thank you. Thank you, Samantha Ryan. Lilith, it was Lilith, definitely. All right, continuing. Aaron Ferguson super chatting going, I told you, Roger, in reference to my earlier stream where he was saying that this chapter is mind-blowing. You don't want to be spoiled on it. Thank you for the warning, Aaron. Appreciated it. Obviously, I already got my mutes in place. This was a wild week with Fire Emblem and with One Piece Odyssey and with the hack and everything else that I was doing this past week. So I wasn't even really thinking about One Piece. And thankfully, people were being really cool. And because my Twitter was locked out during that hack, I really haven't been checking Twitter for the past couple weeks. And so there wasn't even a risk of me being spoiled this week, outside of if someone had said something during like a stream, which people were really cool and didn't want to spoil me. So we're all good. Also, though, I'll bring this up. Later today, I'm going to my friend Adam's house, and we're going to do pack openings for the new One Piece card game. And I think we're going to make like shorts and little TikToks and things using the One Piece cards. I don't know if he's going to stream it. If he does, look out for my Twitter, because I think we might be doing a stream on his channel later today. Awesome Adam TV. Shout out to him. Okay. Where do we leave off? Let me see. Super chats. All right. This one comes from Mike Man Cool, saying Awakened Kaku is cool and Lucci is dope, but imagine Awakened Caribou. Of course, Mike. It's been too long. How I missed your weird little trolly caribou little theories that you send in. Love you and appreciate you, buddy. Happy to see you in here again. That reminds me, I got to give you your mod back. Mike Man Cool, if you're in the chat still, drop a little message in the chat so I can give you your mod back. Thank you very much, Mike Man Cool. Greatly appreciate it. Always the GOAT. Love to see it. Thank you, Mike Man Cool. We've got Sleepy Times becoming a member for 3 months, saying the fact that Weevil might actually be Whitebeard's son now is wild. Again, yeah, because he could be. Because if Stussy looked like that, Whitebeard might have, you know what I'm saying? He might have achieved his dream. So Hogback is from the West Blue. So he's probably the scientist who did the soul experiment. Hogback is from the West Blue. So he's probably the scientist. You mean the soul experiment that Vegapunk brought up? That would be kind of interesting, actually, and would make a lot of sense considering he's on Moria's team, and their whole thing is bringing people back to life and zombies. Ooh, that's kind of cool. I like that. That's a neat theory. Good one. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. That was from Sleepy Times. Caesar D. Law just said Dragon and Vegapunk endgame to infiltrate all sorts of places and Marines with sleeper clones. See, again, if that's where he's taking the clone thing, I'm cool with it. No doubt about it, I'm fine with that. Mega Prime super chatted and said, what if the Stussy from Whole Cake is the original and this Stussy infiltrated Cypherpole? Well, no. So, to clarify, the original is Stussy, a.k.a. Miss Buckingham Stussy, a.k.a. Weevil's mom, right? Miss Bucking. That's the original Stussy. She is the #1 original Stussy clone. Now, I don't know if there's more clones of Stussy running around out there, like Stussy #2, Stussy #3, but this is definitely this Stussy with the succubus powers against Lucci and Kaku working for Vegapunk is definitely the same one that was in Whole Cake Island with the Tamate Bako and stuff. That's it. That's definitely it. Without a doubt. It's the same one, for sure. No doubt about it. All right, we got Zekin saying Stussy's the Pleasure District, excuse me, I can't even talk. Stussy is the Pleasure District leader? 100% she's a succubus. Exactly. You don't run the Pleasure District and have a whole house of OnlyFans girls and not have a succubus power. She's definitely got a succubus power. Suck you, Stussy. Suck you, Bussy. Absolutely. Absolutely. Mega Prime said, disregard my first message. I will disregard it. Maxim coming through with another $100 donation. Saying, I gotta say, your review rambling in this one, in this stream, it's some of the best off-the-cuff theory crafting I have ever seen from you. Those storylines you brought up have got me hyped. That is my guy right there. Maxim coming through for Suck You Bussy this chapter. Thank you very much, Maxim. Nakama, appreciate you. 100 big ones dropping into the chat. Thank you, Maxim. Thank you. I'm glad you're as excited as I am. I'm glad I wasn't spoiled. I'm glad I wasn't spoiled. This could have been one. If I was spoiled on this one, I genuinely, it could have been bad. It could have been bad. I would not have been happy if I was spoiled on this one. But I wasn't, and I appreciate all of you for being kind and keeping this from me. Incredible, incredible, incredible chapter. Even James warned me. That's true. James did say it's a big chapter, so stay off Twitter. He's right. Maxim and James and Aaron and everybody, man. You all are goats. I love you all. I love you all. Thank you. Okay. Where did I leave off? I got so many donations. I just had to shout out Maxim again real quick. Amazing. Phenomenal. All right. Gagan Chima super chatted and said, unrelated to the chapter, I just want to wish you a great year and for you to get ready for the hype train this chapter. 10 out of 10. 4-leaf clover, Nakama. Thank you very much, Gagan. Greatly appreciate that. Thank you for the kind words. I needed it after everything that happened this year with the hack and the flooding and everything. I appreciate it. Thank you. Jay the Sky Shark super chatted and said, cloning tech is Stussy and Vegapunk perfected it. You love to see it. Corey Armstrong said, I'm starting to think that Luffy is a clone of Roger. That would explain the lack of Dragon acting as a father, and also no mention of Luffy's mother. Along with his flame powers being created with Lunarian DNA. He looks just like Ace. Again, I'm not even gonna, Corey, thank you for your super chat. I appreciate it. I do. But please no. I do not want, I've said this before, I'm gonna say it again, just to clarify. I do not want Luffy to be a clone of Roger. I would really not like that for the story. I like that Luffy is this goofy little kid who had a dream to be the Pirate King, even though because he already has a little bit of that nepotism in his blood, right? He's got Garp as his grandfather and Dragon as his father and grew up with Ace and Sabo. So like, Luffy's got privilege, all right? You don't gotta give more of it to Luffy. Luffy's good. I don't want Luffy to be a clone of Roger. Again, Corey, you're right, like, maybe the flame powers has something to do with the Lunarian DNA. Like, I don't know. but I don't want it to be a thing. I don't. But I appreciate you, Corey. Thank you for your donation. Hollow Everest super chatted and said, I like Mads. Brought together forces from the most powerful groups in all the New World. I'm right there with you, Hollow. I love Mads too. A succubus in charge of the Pleasure District also makes sense to me. But what do you think is the devil fruit? What if this is it? What if this is the devil fruit? See, I brought that up earlier during my reaction. I think I think it's a non-zero chance that it's somehow like the devil no me model succubus, or the demon no me model succubus, Akuma no mi model succubus, and not actually a Hito no mi model succubus. I think it could be like a devil fruit variant, but I don't think it's just the devil fruit. I think there's something more to it, especially with the succubus thing and her sucking the blood. I mean, that's literally, you see the shot of her with the blood in her mouth. So vampire or succubus seems to make a lot of sense. Life of Soda super chatted and said, I can never make your streams, but I'm at work right now, so I can't stay for this one. But do you think Blackbeard is a clone of Zebek? Do I think Blackbeard is a clone of Zebek? I didn't even consider that as a possibility. Again, I have to look at timelines. I don't know. Maybe? I don't know. Let me sleep on that, Soda. Let me sleep on that. Roberto super chatted and said, Roger, I don't think Luffy is a clone of Joy Boy because he was around over 800 years ago. So I don't think they could have gotten clear DNA from him. Well, good. So hopefully he's not then. Great. Neon Soul super chatted and said Succubus was my guess as well. I wonder if Stussy has something to do with Vegapunk's secret ally. I'm super glad you got your channel back. Thank you very much. Mike Mancool is also saying that Crocomom theory is sounding pretty nice right now. We actually just beat Crocodile in One Piece Odyssey on my stream a couple days ago. If you are curious about that game at all, go check that out. We're still relatively early in that game, and I haven't played since that stream. But we beat Crocodile and Alabasta on that stream. So if you're craving some Crocodile content, go check out the One Piece Odyssey stream from a couple days ago. Absolutely. Hollow Everest super chatted again and said that maybe Pell and Pagaya did die and they were replaced by clones. Oh, man. Tim Riddle coming through saying the same thing that was brought up earlier. Blackbeard is a clone of Rocks, maybe. Chaos Lurlin super chatting said if Luffy is anyone's clone, I bet he'd be Dragon's. That would mean that he's still Dragon's son, without a mother for us to worry about. So, okay, that would be one situation in which I'd be cool with it. That I'd be fine with. If Luffy was a clone of Dragon, that was Dragon spliced with Lunarian DNA, which would explain the firepower thing, and essentially that would make Luffy Boba Fett and Dragon Jango Fett, I'm cool with that. That is the only situation, I think. Thinking about it now, let me scroll through. I think the only two situations I would be okay with Luffy being a clone would be Dragon clone or Garp clone. That would be it. I'd be okay with that, actually. If he was a clone of Garp or a clone of Dragon, I think I'd be fine with that. And that would be a good way to sort of subvert all the different theories about, Luffy's mom is this person, Luffy's mom is Bello Betty or whatever. We wouldn't have to deal with that. We wouldn't have to worry about a mom character. I don't know. It's interesting. Chaos Lurlin super chatted again and said, speaking of soul powers, what potential does this have for Brook? See, I don't know. Brook is also like a weird situation too, because Brook has his soul taken out of his body, but he becomes like a ghost. Like he's able to control his soul while out of his body. He's able to manipulate it. But his whole fruit just revives him, essentially. So I don't really think, and I know he's like able to use the power of his soul to do like special moves and things, but I don't necessarily think that like Brook can manipulate memories or pain in the same way that Kuma can. And I don't think he could take souls in the same way Big Mom can. I think he's like a special case because his whole thing is he revives himself once. That's his devil fruit power. So I don't think necessarily it has much potential for Brook, but I could be wrong, and Oda could do something cool with it. But for right now, I don't think there's really any connection with Brook stuff. But I'll keep you posted. Yoshi Pudding donated and said, "Great to see you back. I really do think Stussy was sussy. I do think that Succubusy is indeed a succubus. Her pose in the last panel is the same pose as Morgan from Darkstalkers. There you go." Jack Hot Scene Emos super chatted and said, "I like the clone idea for Stussy and Bucking as well. I just hope it doesn't extend to the series' main characters like Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji." Jack, you're speaking my language. I'm right there with you. Hollow Avarice super chatted and said, "Also, the 21 gram thing is another reference that Vegapunk made to a real scientist, Duncan McDougall. Duncan McDougall had a theory about the soul back in 1907, and he measured the weight of dying people to try and prove the soul's existence." Interesting. I'm going to give you a very weird Oda little piece of trivia, though. And this would explain why you'd potentially weigh less when you die. When you die, you poop. It happens. You poop. And obviously, if you eat a big meal and you have that weight in your stomach, and then you go to the bathroom and you poop, you're going to weigh less. So, maybe that's what it is. Maybe you just weigh less because your bowels poop out what was in there when you die. But did these scientists never think of that? Did the scientists never think of the fact that, like, the stuff that gets excreted out of your body when you die, that maybe that would have a weight to it? James, oh my God, James. James said, wait. James in my chat just said, wait. What does this mean for the creation of devil fruits? When the previous devil fruit user when they die, do they poop out their devil fruits? When the soul goes into the other devil fruit and someone else can eat that devil fruit, do they just poop their soul out? Is that what it works? Oh man. Is that how it works? Oh man. That's all. Oh my gosh. Oh no. RPG Genius said that explains why they taste bad. Because they're poop. I think we just discovered the truth about the devil fruits. Devil fruits are poop. It's the poop of the previous user. We discovered it. We figured it out live on stream. 2,000 people. That's the truth behind devil fruits. No. All right. This is a joke. That is obviously not what devil fruits are. I don't want people to think it's an actual theory of mine. All right. Moving on. Dracule Armand super chatting saying, "I'm wondering if Kuma can put whatever he takes out of people into objects, because that would be wild." That would be wild. If he could basically take a memory out or something, stuff it into like a controller, and then hide it away somewhere in Egghead, and then someone else gets it, and when they touch it, all the memories come flooding back to them. That would be amazing. That would also be sick in terms of, like, if you wanted to take somebody out quickly, is if you have all that pain built up from somebody else. Like, imagine if he took all that pain from Luffy in Thriller Bark and put it into, like, a water cup. And then he puts the water cup, or the water cup had to have already been on the counter, right? Because he's taking the thing from another thing. And then he's like, "Oh, hey, Kizaru, come over here real quick. Hold on. Could you try this water, see if it tastes funny?" Kizaru takes a sip. All of a sudden gets hit with the pain and then gets knocked out. That's really interesting. I didn't think of the idea that maybe Kuma can insert pain or memories into inanimate objects. That's cool. Maybe he can, honestly. Maybe he can. I like that idea. I think that has cool potential for the story as well. I like that a lot. Hassan super chatted, the Hassan M saying, a really good theory that I saw on Reddit is that the flashback is not about Kuma, but about Bonnie. Something that Bonnie did that made Kuma take her to flee their kingdom, and he removed her memories. That is pretty interesting. I like that. I still really like, I mean, honestly, I'm fine with either thing. I'm cool with it actually being hers and her thinking that it's her father's, but I really think it's probably her father's memories, because the whole thing is that Vegapunk didn't want her to see her father's memories. And he's like, oh, it's his pain, don't touch it. And she's like, I know damn well how my dad's power works. And she touches it, and it's all the memories come flooding back. We'll see. Either thing is cool. I like them both. DS Randomizer super chatted and said, Roger, it has been a while. Hope you have been well. I've actually been horrible, but thank you for asking. You could find out the whole situation that happened with the channel being taken down and the flooding and everything. You can check all that stuff out on my hack video that I did a couple days ago. Watch that one. But I'm doing well now because they got my channel back. I just wanted to share a theory to you that Shanks will be killed by Joy Boy. This chapter proved my theory. You think Shanks will be killed by Joy Boy? By all means, please drop that theory in the chat randomizer. I would love to read about it. Myron Lyons super chatted and said, what if Luffy is like Yugi and Nika is like Yami, aka the fruit being the Millennium item, with zone fruits having a mind of their own and awakened ones losing their mind to the fruit's power? What exactly does Nika want? That's kind of an interesting way to look at it, but I think Luffy has control. Like, I obviously, he's laughing uncontrollably and stuff in Gear 5, but he's still doing what he wants to do. The whole thing, and why it's so dangerous that Luffy has the power, is that the power is the most ridiculous power in the entire world. You could do whatever your dreams and heart's desire is, right? He could make Looney Tune eyes, he could grow huge, he could shrink things, he could do whatever he wants in Gear 5. So, Luffy is in control of that, but is somehow working in tandem with Nika. So I don't think Nika is actually taking over Luffy. I think it's like they're working in tandem. Whereas the takeover thing kind of happens, we see that with like the awakened zones that were in Impel Down, right? Where you had like the awakened zones that lost their minds, who were taken over by the fruit's power. Like you got the jailer beasts, right? Those were all awakened zones, but they were awakened the wrong way. Whereas like Kaku, Lucci, Luffy, Kaido, all these characters that have awakened devil fruits are working in tandem with their devil fruit power. I think that's where the difference is. Yeah. Really cool though. Really, really cool. I like the comparison between Yu-Gi-Oh and like Yugi and Yami and Luffy and Nika. I think it's cool. Interesting. Ronald says Kaido's not confirmed. Everyone says that, but like he's got the rings around, so he's like, if it's not confirmed, then it's just dumb. Like, why would he not confirm that? Obviously, Kaido's awakened. If Kaido is the strongest beast alive, and we live in a world in which Kaku and Lucci can awaken and Kaido can't, that's the dumbest oversight in the history of the story. So obviously, Kaido is awakened. We literally see the rings around his arms and the thing around him. So like, if Kaido was not awakened, then what we see, that just makes Kaido way worse of a character. But that's a conversation for another day, and I don't want to bring down this really good chapter with problems that I have regarding the end of Wano Country. So we're moving on from that, but I think he's got to be awakened. If he's not, then again, bad oversight. All right. Amaril Tempest saying, FYI, Roger, the old hag that helped Orochi in Wano Country has a clone devil fruit as well. Huh? Wait, what? One of the appearance that she first shows is Stussy? Maybe that's why she knows Kaido. Wait, what are you talking about? Wait, what? Wait. FYI, Roger, from Amarul, says the old hag that helped Orochi in Wano Country, so the Kuruzumi lady, Higurashi, has a clone's devil fruit. Okay. Wait a minute. You mean the clone fruit, like Bon Clay's fruit. Got it. Right. She does. You're right. I was very confused because we're talking about actual clones this chapter. I got it. I know what you mean now. I got it. She has the clone devil fruit. Right. And one of the appearances she shows at first is Stussy. The face she showed before Shiki's was Stussy. It was the first face. Maybe that's why she knows Kaido. Do you know what chapter that was? Was that 965? Wait, give me a second. $965, right? See, I'm going to my volumes right now. I'm looking this up. Is it, by the way, can I just say, isn't it nice? Wait, let me go back to this screen real quick. Isn't it nice that now I've got my bookcase right here, so I don't have to go off camera to get the books? I could just grab them right off the bookcase. It's great. The only thing is, I think I want to put like a plant right here. I want a nice little bit of green right here, like a tall little plant, maybe a palm tree or something, I don't know. I want a plant right here though. Otherwise though, I love this. Setup is fantastic. All right, anyway, hold on, wait. This is 965. And now plus you guys can see Pillow-sama and all the stuff on the bed and all the stuff behind me. I have to reorganize this a little bit still. We were kind of rushing in the process because we needed to move the couch when everything was flooding, but, okay, sorry, I'm getting off topic. 965. 965, it's coming up. I just want to see this for myself. 963, 964. All right, and this is the beginning of volume 96. Okay, 965, boom. The Kurazumi clan's plot, we're right here. Okay, here we go. Higurashi, you got the stuff with Oden. You got the old retainer. Okay, we've got the stuff with the old lady. Got it. Prepared to poison. We still have the old lady there. She's not showing the faces yet. Look at my face. Wait. Wait. I don't think that's it. I don't think that's Stussy. That's not even Stussy. Like, I understand people being confused because obviously Oda draws a lot of his women to look alike. I don't think that was Stussy. That doesn't even really look like her. She's got long hair. I don't know. Shiki is there too. I know. We're looking at Shiki right here. I get that Shiki. I don't think that's Stussy, you guys. I don't think that's Stussy. The face looks a little different and the hair is long. I hate to shut down a theory, but I really don't think that's Stussy. Even if the anime tried to make it a little clearer, I don't think that's the case. I'm going to say right now, I don't think that was Stussy. But I'm happy we looked it up. And I'm also happy to be proven wrong. If that was indeed actually Stussy, cool. But again, I don't think it was. I don't think it was. That was a bit of a stretch. Okay, moving on. Thank you for bringing it up, though, regardless. That was interesting. Okay. Gambia's grandma mentioned something cool. This is from Hollow, saying, if you check out chapter 860 on Whole Cake, Smoothie offered a drink to Stussy, and it was run out of the liquid of a giraffe. That's right! Oh my gosh, she did! That's right, she did! Oh, that's kind of cool. She did totally do that. I remember that vividly. Smoothie, when she was wringing out the different things in Whole Cake Island at the wedding, she wrung the liquid out of a giraffe and then gave it to Stussy. You're right. He did. Oda, in a weird way, foreshadowed Kaku's loss to Stussy with that smoothie part. That's kind of cool, actually. Yeah, you bring that up. I totally remember that now. Wild. Oda really is cooking, man. Fantastic. Smiley C, super chatted and said, I wonder if there's going to be a way to tell. Assuming Tashigi is one, it could be your bad eyesight. It's something Kuina didn't have. Oh, you mean to tell who's a clone or not? Assuming Tashigi is one, it could be her bad eyesight. That's something that Kuina didn't have. Yeah, interesting. You mean like a fault in the clone technology? Potentially be the fact that she has to have glasses. Ooh, I kind of like that idea. That's cool. I like that a lot, Smiley. Good call. Alex Tihor super chatted and said, what would kind of ruin One Piece for you with the potential of new revelations? We talked about that earlier. If you scrub back a little bit, it'll go over my talk regarding like clones and how I wouldn't like to see certain clones of certain characters. But for the most part, these other revelations are great. Ooh. Teddy, aka Dark Mugiwara, super chatted, asking a real question right now, saying, would you rather Reiju suck or Stussy's bite? Reiju, come on. I love Stussy, but like Reiju all day, every day. Reiju's top 3 girl in all of One Piece. Obviously, Vin Smoke Reiju. Come on now. J-Man Joestar super chatting saying, as a Spider-Man... Excuse me, man, it is like super hot in here right now. Let me take this off again. As a Spider-Man fan, clones are annoying, so hopefully Oda doesn't go too overboard with it. I didn't even realize there were clones of Spider-Man. So, there you go. Gunman2410 super chatted and said, what if Bonnie is a clone of Kuma's real daughter and just has her memories? I think that's an interesting way that they could take the story as well, too. I think she is actually his real daughter, though. I do. That would be kind of interesting, though, if Vegapunk took this kid and then supplanted the memories of Kuma's actual child into her. But I really don't think that's the case. I think she actually is the daughter of Kuma. That would be kind of a weird switch in the story. I wouldn't be a fan of that. But, you know One Piece, though. Never say never. Myron Lyons super chatted and said, Yamato was 100% leaving Wano and then went awakened form for a few chapters and now feels the need to be Wano's guardian deity. I don't know about all that. Yeah, I also don't know about all that. Luffy used to start in lower gears and then built up if need be, but he started in 5th gear with Lucci, right? He doesn't essentially need the other gears anymore. That's the one unfortunate thing about Gear 5 is that the drawback is just being old for a little bit, right? And obviously Bonnie's able to age him up from that, but still in all, it's like, I don't see a situation in which he really needs to utilize Gear 2 or Gear 3 or especially Gear 4. Gear 4's got so many drawbacks where you can't use it for a certain amount of time that I don't know or see a situation in the future now that he's got Gear 5 in which he would need to use Gear 4. Especially Gear 4. Because I think we're at a situation with Luffy where Gear 2 and Gear 3, he's able to control and he was able to train them over time so he doesn't shrink anymore. So Gear 2 and Gear 3 have the benefit of the time skip. Gear 4 and the different versions of Gear 4, obviously he trained those during the time skip as well, but I think it's different. He didn't have as much time with them. So, I mean, if he's able to utilize Gear 4 in the same way he utilizes Gear 3 and Gear 2, then I think I could see a situation in which he could use them. But I think for the time being, now that we have Gear 5, I don't see him going back to Gear 4 for many other things. I almost see Gear 4 going the way of, like, Afro Luffy. You know what I mean? Like, I could see a situation in which Gear 4 doesn't really get used again in the story outside of like a few select situations. I think otherwise Gear 4 is maybe going to be like a relic of that era during the post-time skip from like Dressrosa to Wano, in which he needed something to compensate before getting to Gear 5. But I think 2 and 3 aren't really going anywhere. Because I think Gear 3 is now almost part of like his regular repertoire, and so is Gear 2. But I don't know, we'll see. We'll see. I am kind of interested to see where Oda's going to take that moving forward. Tristan Field super chatted and said, what's the best bet that Weevil is actually a failed experiment to clone Whitebeard? We talked about that a lot during the stream already, Tristan. I'm right there with you. I think it's a high likelihood. Dylan McKay super chatted and said, this was one hell of a chapter for you to return on. Completely agree. And I also remember the thing regarding Smoothie giving Stussy the drink from the giraffe. There you go. Let me see. Hoff super chatted and said, I know it was said that you couldn't order Seraphim via transponder snail, but I wonder if a tone dial would work since it's a recording of a voice. Interesting thought, Hoff. Hold on to that one. That might be important moving forward. Lucky98 super chatted and said, did anyone mention how Stussy was drinking giraffe juice when she first arrived at Whole Cake, and now she's drinking giraffe juice again? A lot of people have brought that up already, but thank you for your donation. Jay So Smooth super chatted and said, yo, Roger, happy Sunday. Only thing I hate from the chapter is now everyone is throwing around clone ideas, AKA, is Zoro now a clone? Zoro was actually a clone of somebody else. Yeah, I hope that's not the case. I don't want Zoro to be a clone. I agree. We've talked about that as well. If Luffy is Dragon's clone, leaving Luffy with Garp could be an experiment to see if being raised by the same person would replicate his personality, says Chaos Lurlin. That's an interesting take. I like that. Yeah, that like Garp raised Dragon, and obviously that didn't work out. So now Garp leaves Luffy to his own accord if Luffy is a clone of Dragon and sees could he turn out to be a better person. Interesting. I kind of like that. David Ortiz said, Luffy was always Joy Boy. The Roger Pirates knew Joy Boy would appear in 20 years. Exactly. And Roger stated that they would surpass them, hence the worst generation, hence why I don't think that Luffy is potentially a clone. Yeah, exactly. That Luffy was fated to be born, but maybe isn't necessarily a clone. Yeah, I like that. Raziel Dreams super chatted and said, what is up, Roger? Quick theory. What if Kuma lives on after death, due to Seraphim Kuma touching his memories and inheriting his soul? Cool. I like that a lot. I think that's cool. Again, though, we don't know the full extent of what's going on with the Seraphim and how they're commanded and if they have free will. But I think that could be cool. Yeah, that like the Kuma that's on the red line right now, the original Kuma dies and sacrifices himself. And the Seraphim Kuma gets the memories of the old Kuma back. I like that. I like that a lot. I think that's kind of cool. Roberto said, this is specifically about Brook's possibilities. There's actually a special manga out there that showcases what Brook can do with souls. Roberto, if you have the link to that manga, leave it in the comment section of this video because I definitely want to check that out for sure. Shardpop super chatted and said, Stussy's wings remind me a lot of Robin's Demonio Fleur, with the green blood stuff too. I'm guessing there's some type of Paramecia secret related to cloning that Vegapunk hasn't fully told us about yet. Interesting. Could be that too. Carlos said, souls are made of wishes, memories, and dreams, aka devil fruits. Right? Devil fruits are the dreams of people. Souls are made of wishes. Where are you going with that? What's your connection there? That's just like stating something in the series. Thawwood bringing up the thing with Stussy drinking in her info. Shardpop super chatted. What's going on, Shardpop? Saying, Kuma's power was used to make Funkfried, maybe. Spandam's sword that ate a fruit to become the elephant sword? Maybe that was Kuma's power? I think he actually just fed the devil fruit to the sword. I don't think that had anything to do with Kuma's power, Shardpop. I think that was literally a situation kind of like the dog gun in Baroque Works, in which they fed an inanimate object to devil fruit. So in the case of Funkfried, it was like the elephant fruit was fed to Spandam's sword. Yeah, I don't think that has anything to do with Kuma's power. I think that was actually literally a devil fruit. But we'll see. Jur bringing up the same thing that we brought up multiple times in the stream already regarding Weevil being a clone. Though, an interesting take here, because Jur brings up that maybe Weevil is Queen's clone with Whitebeard's strength imbued. That would explain his size, but back in the day, Queen didn't look like that. So I don't know. We'll see if when we see Weevil again, he's going Zuma, 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 Zuma. We'll see. Eduardo Canseco super chatting, $20, saying, welcome back, Roger. Sundays are once again complete. Thank you very much, Eduardo. It feels very, very good to be back. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Davon, a.k.a. Schoolboy Beats, super chatted and said, it must not be tyrannical memories. It might be silly, because how did he embarrass me? It doesn't sound like anything bad. It must be something funny that they're going to end up seeing. Again, I hope Bonnie doesn't end up seeing memories of Kuma that he would be embarrassed of. I hope that she ends up seeing memories of Kuma regarding when she was a child and like what made him join the revolutionaries and join Vegapunk. That's what I hope we end up getting. I hope it's not just he touches the memories and then the embarrassing thing that Kuma was talking about is what she ends up seeing. So, yeah. Fake Zorro super chatted and said, I made a video last year about the D stands for doppelgangers, and that anyone with D in the name means he's continuing a dream from someone in the past. You know what? I actually think you brought that up a while ago on one of my previous streams, didn't you, Fake Zorro? You brought up the idea that, like, I think it was during the chapter in which we found out that devil fruits were coming from the dreams of people from the past. And I think you brought up the whole thing with D potentially being doppelganger, and that the people with the will of D have dreams that need to be fulfilled from people in the past. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not entirely against the idea that D stands for doppelganger. I think that's kind of cool. And Davon said, yeah, that was definitely not Stussy's face earlier as well. There you go. Opstanding? I think I'm saying your name right? Super chatted and said, Garp is going to be killed by Katarina Devon while she looks like Ace. Because Blackbeard certainly can't win 1v1, so he's going to pull the emotion card, just like the stuff in Odin's flashback with Kaido. You think Garp is going to be killed by Katarina Devon looking like Ace? That would be brutal. I mean, that would really, really be brutal. I don't think Garp is going to die in a confrontation with Blackbeard, though. I think Garp is making it to Final War. I think Garp is one of those characters that is very likely to die by the end of the story. But I don't necessarily think that... I don't think that Garp dies off camera. I just don't. I don't think Garp dies off camera. I think it's got to be something in which Garp fights Blackbeard. Maybe she does pull the emotional card with Ace. But... see, I don't know. I don't know. Because there's a lot of stuff even in this chapter that Oda is really flying through, and big reveals that we're getting that, like... If this was 3 years ago, I would say there's no chance of Garp dying in that confrontation with Blackbeard that we're apparently going to get to at some point soon when they're off to save Kobe. But thinking about it, so long as we actually see the thing happen in real time and it's not off screen, I could maybe see Garp dying in the confrontation with Blackbeard. But then again, also Blackbeard's been weakened by Law and his crew. I don't know. I'm kind of 50-50. I could see a situation in which Garp gets there and we see Law and Pudding watch what happens as Garp is trying to save Kobe, and Garp maybe dies in the process. And with Pudding being there, maybe like taking the memory of the situation and giving it to... I don't know. I will say, though, Pudding being there with the memory power, being in the presence of Blackbeard, and witnessing what's about to go down there, I think makes it more likely that something really important to the story that would have otherwise had to have been seen during a main story arc and not in a side story, I think Pudding being there makes it more likely that something big could happen there, because she could then insert the memory into somebody else. I also think Law being there as a member of the Alliance, right, as somebody who's been with us since post-time skip, I think Law and Pudding being there means that the potential is there for Garp dying in the fight with Blackbeard. And potentially not making it to Final War. And Kobe being there as well. I don't know, though. Because then, if Garp dies there, and we don't fully know how Katarina Devon's powers work, but if Garp is there, Katarina could use her power to pretend to be Garp. Oh, wait a minute. Brain blast. What if... Oh, wow. What if we see Garp get to Blackbeard and his crew, right? Law's there, Pudding's there, everyone's there witnessing this epic fight with Garp and Blackbeard to save Kobe. where we leave off seeing them, it looks like Garp wins, or is it about to win? And that's the last thing that we see before we cut to wherever we're going next, like Elbath or whatever the next part of the story is. But that's the little interim that we see between Egghead and Elbath, is we see the fight between Garp and Blackbeard. But we don't see how the fight definitively ends. We just end the fight with potentially Garp having the upper hand. Cut to Elbath or whatever the next story arc is. That story arc ending, Garp showing up and telling us what went down in the fight against Blackbeard. And then our Straw Hats being all excited, right? Like, oh, it's so cool, I can't believe you beat Blackbeard, whatever. And then sneak attack Devon, who was actually the Garp who talked to them, reveals and goes, actually, your grandfather is dead. We killed him. He died like a punk. Like, oh, man. And that sets off in motion the stuff with Blackbeard and bringing Blackbeard to whatever the next island is going to be, whether that's Elbath or the next thing after Elbath. That would be like a shocking revelation, because then you get the reveal if that Garp is actually Devon and he touches his face or something and goes, by the way, your grandfather is dead. And then we cut to seeing the actual truth behind how the fight ended. And you've got like Blackbeard standing there over Garp. I think there's a lot of story potential there. I think there's a lot of story potential and different directions Oda could go in which he utilizes Katarina Devon's power to trick us into thinking that Garp is okay. That's the main thing I want you to take away from that. I don't necessarily think everything's going to be laid out in the way that I just laid it out, but I do think there's a high likelihood with Pudding and Law being there to witness the true memories, having trustworthy people being there to witness what actually happened, and Kobe as well, and Garp going to fight them. I could see a situation in which Garp, when we see him again in the story, is not actually Garp, and Oda subverts our expectations, and Garp is actually Katarina Devon. I think he could use that idea of Katarina posing as Garp in a lot of really interesting and unique ways. But again, he also doesn't necessarily have to have Garp die in order to do that. We don't know the full extent of Katarina Devon's powers, but I'm pretty sure she can be whoever she wants to be, who's not just dead. I also feel like if Garp dies, I agree with my chat, with Aaron Yeager in the chat. I agree that if Garp actually dies, right, and we see his true death, it's got to be something on the level of Whitebeard. It's got to be this really epic, badass death where he's standing up for something he believes in, obviously, this case being Kobe. He dies saving Kobe, but it's like this big epic moment. But again, you could do that with the subversion with Katarina Devon. You could still have it where Katarina pretends to be Garp, and then we see the truth of the situation, and we see that Garp actually died, but Garp died in like a really epic fashion. Dying, doing something he believed in. I don't know, man. There's really lots of cool story possibilities. He's stacking a lot of characters in both of these areas with like Stussy, Cypherpole, the Straw Hats, Vegapunk, Kizaru. We've got like a giant chunk of characters on Egghead. Really, honestly, Oda, you're a madman. But Oda's brilliant because think about the three most important supernovas, right? Think about our trio from Wano. Think about Luffy, think about Kid, think about Law. Right now, there's a ton of major important characters surrounding Luffy and the crew with Egghead. Then, you've got another major chunk of supporting characters, Pudding, the Blackbeard Pirates, Garp, all of them, Katarina, surrounding Law, right? Because Law and his pirates, they're off doing their own thing right now. They're captured by Blackbeard. They're there, right? So you've got Law and his crew witnessing the stuff with Blackbeard. That's one chunk. And then, now, based on how the chapter ended last week with 1071 and Kid going to Elbath, My presumption would be the other major group of supporting characters that is not present in either Egghead or with Blackbeard. So Full Lead is one giant place, Egghead is one giant place. The third one is Elbaf. Because you've got Kid and his crew, you've got all the giants that know the truth about Ohara, you've got potentially Vivi there, if Kuma ended up sending Vivi to Elbaf, because Vivi doesn't know really a lot of people outside who she met when she was with the crew and world government figures. And Kuma knows, because again, Kuma was there present during the reverie when Sabo presumably killed her father. And Kuma knows that Vivi knows the Straw Hats, and Vivi knows the Giants, and the Giants know the truth about Ohara. I could see a situation in which Kuma slapped Vivi, sent her over to Elbaf, and that when we get to Elbaf and we reunite with Kid and we find out more of the truth about what happened with Big Mom when she was there in Elbaf, that Vivi could be present there as well. Because Vivi knows Dorian Bragi. So I could see a situation in which Kuma slaps her, she goes to Elbaf to find out something regarding like the Road Poneglyph or the truth of the world or whatever, and the Giants sort of take her under their wing, and Dorian Bragi are like, oh yeah, we vouch for her, she's cool. But really, again, three major battlegrounds. Kid, Elbaf, Law, Full of Lead, Luffy, Egghead Island. And almost all of the major characters, when you think about it, that are important to the end of the story are somehow connected to one of those three locations. Because even Dragon and the Revolutionaries, they're connected to the stuff going on right now in Egghead. Garp, if he's going off to fight Blackbeard, that connects the other Marines to him. That connects the Marines and all the other Marine-type characters that aren't here for Egghead. That connects them, boom, over to Full of Lead. And Akainu is obviously watching all of this, and Elbaf could be anybody else. Elbaf could be Kid, Elbaf could be Shanks, Elbaf could be Vivi, Elbaf could be the Giants. Like, realistically, and Sabo and Imu. We don't know where Sabo is, but we know Sabo witnessed Lulucia. Sabo's connected to the Revolutionaries. So obviously Sabo is tangentially involved with the Egghead storyline. Imu is involved with the world government. That obviously ties into either Elbaf or Full of Lead with the truth of the world, and potentially here as well with Nika. So Imu's the only one unaccounted for, but that's because we don't know what Imu wants exactly. But really everybody else, like, thinking about the other characters that are important to the story that we need to see more of before the final battle, they are all connected in some way, be it tangentially or in a major way, to Egghead, Elbaf, or Full of Lead. Which then, with those three, and with Kid and Law and Luffy being present in all those areas, could all come to a head, final war. I mean, we're really looking at the final saga right now. It's amazing, man. It's amazing to think about. The only other real wild card I'm thinking of now is potentially Cross Guild. Where Cross Guild's putting out bounties on the Marines, but that also kind of goes in line with the Blackbeard stuff, right? Because I'm sure Cross Guild has a bounty out there for Garp. No doubt about it. For Garp, the hero, like, of course Cross Guild's gonna put out a bounty for him. And if that's the case, again, direct connection to the stuff going on Full of Lead. Direct connection. Because then I could see a lot of major characters potentially wanting that bounty for themselves, thinking that they could take out Garp, going to Garp's location, joining the fight with Blackbeard. And potentially doing kind of the reverse of what Blackbeard did in Marineford, where Marineford, Blackbeard was the one who arrived and then stole the Devil Fruit and sort of like picked up the pieces at the ending. Whereas maybe the people going after Garp's bounty, thanks to the Cross Guild, would show up after the confrontation with Garp and Blackbeard has ended, and they sort of pick up the pieces. I don't know. But also the Cross Guild stuff is kind of connected to Egghead as well, right? Because all of the leaders of the Cross Guild were warlords. So Buggy, Crocodile, and Mihawk, which would then all be Seraphim, because the Seraphim are built off the warlords. So that could come up here as well, too. We still haven't seen the Buggy Seraphim. We haven't seen the Crocodile Seraphim. We don't even know if those Seraphim exist. We can make an assumption that they do, based on the other characters that we've seen. But we don't know for a fact if there's a Buggy and a Crocodile Seraphim. We don't know that for a fact. We need to wait, find out if they did actually do that. But if they did, that could also be connected to where we are in Egghead as well. Wow, man. Incredible. We got a donation from Tempt6T, super chatting saying, I would love to see Garp get sneak attacked by Shiryu and Katarina posing as Kobe or Ace, but having him just laugh it off in the most badass way possible by absolutely clobbering them. I think that would be really cool. But I also think Shiryu's not getting taken out by Garp. Shiryu's got to have a fight with Zoro. You know, I could see a situation in which Katarina gets taken out. But again, I think her power is too interesting and useful for the story in terms of making a really easy plot twist later on by just turning into a different character. I don't think she's gonna get rid of. I don't think she's gonna get rid of Garp. Obviously, I think if anyone's gonna beat Garp, it would be Blackbeard. And I don't see a situation in which Oda would get rid of her power without utilizing it for a major twist towards the end. I don't know. I could definitely see some members of the Blackbeard Pirates getting taken out during this confrontation with Garp, but I don't think it'll be Katarina. I don't think it'll be Shiryu. I don't think it'll be Blackbeard, obviously. We need Luffy and Blackbeard confrontation, obviously. We need Shiryu Zoro, so same one. I think anyone else is kind of up in the air, right? I would say maybe the only other one is Doc Q. Because I think Doc Q is too set up to be Chopper's final opponent. I feel like there's too much stuff there with disease and Doc Q being a bad doctor and pestilence and all this kind of stuff. I think like Doc Q is probably safe as well. Doc Q, Shiryu, Devon, Blackbeard. But I think any of the other Blackbeard pirates could probably get taken out. Though, we do have another wild card in the mix, connected to both Full-Lead and to Egghead Island, and that is Kuzan. Because Kuzan is working for Blackbeard right now, right? So he's probably going to be present when Garp arrives. But, actually, you know what? Kuzan's funny. Kuzan's connected to all three. He's connected to Elbaf, he's connected to Full-Lead, he's connected to Egghead. Because we found out in Egghead that Kuzan didn't actually kill Jaguar D. Saul. He put him in the ice time capsule. Saul is alive and well, albeit burnt up with ice burns, in Elbaf. But Kuzan, again, is present in Full-Lead with Blackbeard. So Kuzan is connected to literally all three. And obviously was a former admiral alongside Kizaru, who is fighting right now at Egghead. Wow. Wow. If the story goes to God Valley, do you think that there would be an extended Kaido backstory for the Rocks Pirates? You know, if I'm being honest, knowing what we know now with Stussy potentially, having the memories of what happened with the Rocks Pirates, and I don't think we even need to go to God Valley. Unless there's something integral to, unless there's something integral to Laugh Tale by the end of the series that's present in God Valley, I don't think we actually necessarily need to physically go to God Valley before the end of the story. I think we could see what happened in God Valley. Also, God Valley was like wiped from the earth, right? So God Valley potentially doesn't even exist anymore. It might have been Lulusead. They might have just nuked it out of existence. So if that's the case, I don't think we're going to God Valley. I think if anything else, we're going to get characters tell us about what happened in God Valley. I think Stussy is a very likely candidate for that. I think we could potentially have Garp give us information. I think, for as much as I talked about it at the end of Wano, I don't think we're getting an extended Kaido flashback by the end of the story. I don't think we're getting it. I think the only thing we're going to get to flesh out Kaido's story is going to be the connections to the Rocks Pirates that we'll get from the other flashbacks throughout the course of the rest of the story. Meaning, we'll get more information about Kaido's past via a God Valley flashback from Stussy or a God Valley flashback from Garp or someone like that. But I don't think necessarily we're going to get another Kaido flashback before the end of the story. In fact, I feel pretty confident we're not going to. I think for the most part, Kaido's done. I think Wano was Kaido's flashback. Wano was Kaido's, major story arc. And unfortunately, I think I've come to terms with the fact that I think Kaido is just not going to end up being as fleshed out of a character as we were hoping to see by the end of the story. I think because Kaido, for all intents and purposes, is kind of done right now. They freed Wano Country. Yamato is their guardian deity. Really, the only purpose Kaido serves in the story now, moving forward, is being a supporting character to everyone else's recollection of Rocks Pirates. Which is, obviously a shame, considering how much we all hyped up Kaido after Wano Country, and probably a disappointment for a lot of people. But, I think that's the truth of it, unfortunately, is I don't think we're going to get a full extended Kaido flashback. I think Kaido, for the most part, is now done in the story. And maybe we'll get, like, a clone or a Seraphim or I don't know. He could do any number of things to, like, bring Kaido back. Or Kaido might not even be dead, right? Like Big Mom, we've all talked about this multiple times, that Big Mom potentially used her soul powers to get out of the lava, maybe made, like, lava homies or something. I think... like, what would I want and what do I think is likely for the story? I think it's more likely for the story that we get Kaido back via some weird means, like a clone or a Seraphim or his Devil Fruit or something. But I don't think I want that necessarily. I think I'm actually more okay with the idea at this point now of having Kaido's other past be fleshed out via other person's flashbacks. So whether that's Stussy or Garp or whoever. Like, I think I would almost rather just whatever else we need to know about Kaido get fed via there. Because I think going into another Kaido flashback by the end of the story, with everything going on right now, it just doesn't seem crucially important. You know what I mean? I feel like there's other characters that were present for Rocks that could give us more information that we need more information about than Kaido. I think we've spent enough time with Kaido. I would rather like a flashback of the whole Rocks crew and all of them together than a standalone flashback for Kaido. I think the standalone flashback for Kaido, regardless of people who disagree with me, like I still very strongly feel like, even though it could have spoiled certain things for the story, I think we should have seen more of that at the end of Wano Country, right? I think there was a way in which Oda could have shielded like this truth about Stussy and a couple other things in an extended Rocks flashback then, without giving us and revealing information that has since been revealed in Egghead Island, if that makes sense. So, I think I've just kind of resigned myself to the fact that Kaido, for me, was a disappointment of a character after Wano Country, and that there's so many other cool, interesting things going on with the story now that I would be, like, I wouldn't be upset if we got more Kaido information by itself, or like we got a Kaido flashback. I just really don't think we need to spend more time on him with how close we are to the end and how many other mysteries need to be solved, right? So, anyway, that was a whole tangent, but thank you very much. Whoever asked that question, appreciate it. Where do we leave off? Ron Quixote D3 super chatted and said, it's too bad that Garp doesn't have a devil fruit, because then Luffy's other grandfather could eat his devil fruit and carry on his will. I kid. Love you, Roger. Thank you very much, Ron Quixote. Appreciate it. Mike Locke super chatted and said, check the cover page in chapter 1072 and chapter 802, Buchan's Cape. I'm assuming the cape here. Let's put this down real quick. I guess I'm still on my just chatting screen, so I can pull this up. This is chapter 872. Oh no, 1072. Which is what we just read. And then pair it with 802. What volume was 802 in? An Angry Sanji. Oh no, that's the anime episode. Where's the manga chapter? 802. One Piece. I actually think I have this bookmarked. Let me see. One Piece volumes. One Piece volumes chapter list. Here we go. This will tell me. 802. 802 is in volume 80. Cool. Let me grab this over here. 802. Got this over here. Okay. Volume 80. This is 811, so I went a little too far. This is 808, a little too far. 802. Look at Bucking's cape. Okay. Here we are. 802, right here. Weevil and Miss Bucket. Okay. We got Edward Weevil, seeing him for the first time. The Whitebeard pirates were just playing family. The only son with the blood of Whitebeard. There's no way. There's no way. Miss Bucking is wearing a leopard print coat. When we saw Stussy in Whole Cake, she drank from a giraffe. And when we saw Miss Bucking first revealed, she was wearing a leopard skin coat. That, if Oda knew that's where he was going with all this, that far in advance, that is the coolest bit of foreshadowing I think he has ever done. That is so unbelievably cool. Wow. Wow. I mean, that's genuinely shocking to me. So that implies Stussy, or should I say, if I go back over to this screen, wait a minute, Succubusy is going to beat Lucci. For sure. Succubusy's going to put down Lucci. And then I guess we didn't really even talk about this during my review portion. One thing I do want to mention. If Stussy betrayed Lucci and Kaku and teamed up with Vegapunk, what is Lucci and Kaku's reaction going to be? Do Lucci and Kaku have enough of a connection to Stussy that they would potentially side with her after all this? Or do they go back to the government, tail between their legs, say Stussy was a double agent, and just remain enemies of us till the rest of the story? Because I know there were some people who said that they kind of wanted like a redemption for Lucci. I don't necessarily know if we're going to be getting that. I don't know. Regardless, I think Succubus Stussy versus Awaken Rob Lucci is going to be a really interesting fight. And the leopard print coat thing is just... that's awesome. The leopard print coat for Miss Bucket is so cool. I'm so glad you brought that up. Instead of Rob Lucci, you guys are calling him Job Lucci? Oh, no. Oh, no. Job Lucci. Oh, no. Poor Lucci. His name already has an L in it, though. I like Lucci. I don't want to do him dirty like that. I like Rob Lucci. Job Lucci, man. Wow. All right. Well, one more donation we have from Hollow Avarice, super chatting, saying, the only loose end that I can't figure out so far is Arouge. Oh, Arouge is definitely going to have connection to Elbaf. No doubt about it. Like, without a doubt, that's Arouge's arc. Right, we have Bonnie in Egghead, we had Capone in Whole Cake Island, we had Kid, Apu, all the other characters in Wano Country, Hawkins. To me, no doubt about it, Arouge tied to Elbaf in some way. We're getting information about him, about Elbaf. No doubt about it. That's my guess. Arouge, Elbaf. Especially because Arouge's whole thing is he could build muscle, so he could kind of become a giant himself if he really wanted to. That's when I think we're going to get Arouge. Yeah. Man. Really, really, really great chapter. All right. Last thing I want to do, the very last thing I want to do on today's... Well, actually, before I do that, wait, I want to give a special shout out. I want to give a shout out to all my members who came through during the stream. We're already back to 847 members on the channel. Absolutely, positively amazing. let me actually do one more thing. Let me open this up real quick. I want to see something. I want to go here, pause this. Let me see if I can do this. Can I? I can. As a thank you to all of you for coming back to the stream and hanging out, as a thank you to so many of you who were just subscribers who stuck around through all of this 2 hours in which we were speculating the story, this should give you incentive if you are a subscriber to stick around again in the future, because I am going to be dropping in the chat right now. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. Boom. Oh, hold on. We got One Piece open. Hold on. Give me a second. Wait a minute. Boom. We are going to be dropping. Wait. Boom. Here we go. Did it happen? 50 gifted memberships. There we go. I wanted to do that to my community. Thank you all for sticking around. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you for being here at the end of the stream. Really means a lot. I'm excited to see who ends up getting the membership. Again, if you did just get a membership, you now have access to all of the members-only content, which is my watch-throughs of Haikyuu, my watch-through of, what else? We've got Beastars, we've got Naruto, we've got Avatar, we've got all that kind of stuff. And in addition to all of that, you also have access to all my playthroughs that I did. Xenoblade, we have, what else is up there? Scarlet, just a whole bunch of stuff. But I just wanted to do this as a thank you to all my members for coming through to the stream today, all of my subscribers for showing up for the stream today, sticking around until the very end. Really appreciate it. But you know what? We're actually not necessarily done. I want to ask a question to all of you that are in the chat right now. Would you be interested in me next week, not this week? This has been a very, very long stream, so I'm going to cut this one a little short because I want to keep them all around 3 hours. I want to ask you guys a question. Would you be down next week after the One Piece chapter, or whenever the next One Piece chapter is that doesn't have this much to discuss? Would you guys be down for me on the same stream reacting to all of the other Hunter x Hunter chapters that I missed while I was gone? That is, I think there's 2 or 3 chapters that we still have left to read when my channel was taken down. Would you guys be down to do that? Because I think I'm going to do that at the end of the next One Piece stream that isn't a major, chapter like this one. If there's one that's kind of like a middling chapter that doesn't have much to discuss, I think that'll be the one where we end up reacting to all the Hunter x Hunter stuff. Because this is something that a lot of people brought up to me, is they didn't even know that I was covering Hunter x Hunter on my VOD channel, and now my VOD channel's wiped because of that hack. So I don't want to risk it. I don't want to have to deal with that ever again. So I think what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to react to what's left of Hunter x Hunter on one of my main streams on Sunday. Because I brought this up during my hack video, and I'll bring it up again since there's still a lot of you that are here. I think one thing that I want to do is, especially with One Piece coming to a close and us needing to do other series, I really want to turn my Sunday streams, not to say any of the One Piece stuff is going anywhere, it's not, but I want to turn my Sunday streams into more of like a manga day, so we can also read, after the One Piece stuff is done, of course, we can also read other things that I want to catch up to, because right now, since it's getting close to the end, I kind of do want to catch up to My Hero. I do also really want to catch up to the rest of Hunter x Hunter. I think that would be really cool. And, yeah, and I mean, the plan is just, I want all of my streams here on YouTube to be about 3 hours. I've been doing streams on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Pacific time. Those are long streams where we could do a lot of stuff, but we're covering other things on those streams. We're playing games, or we're watching other things. So I want the manga stuff to be here on Sundays. But of course, we'll always start with One Piece, because One Piece is new. I don't want to be spoiled on it. We'll always start with One Piece in the mornings. But if you guys want me to, same streams, I could start reacting to other stuff. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below on the stream. Thank you, by the way, to Teal Traveler, donating and saying, it's great to see you back. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very, very much. Appreciate that. And Nico saying, good guy Roger, not comma. Thank you very much. And again, the nice thing is, if we do end up doing that on future streams, what I could always do is do timestamps, right? I've been doing timestamps for streams anyway. I could just do timestamps, go, you know what? What we're gonna do, we're gonna do Hunter x Hunter now. So if we're done with One Piece now, we'll put a little thing on the screen. We go into Hunter x Hunter, or we go into My Hero, or whatever. But I think that would be cool. I think it'd be cool to turn the Sunday streams into like big 3-hour manga streams. I think it'd be really cool. All right. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Thanks to all of you for being here. 2.5 hours this morning. Absolutely amazing. Also, I got to give a shout out to all my members. Wait a minute. I got to give a shout out to everybody else who became a member on stream today. And thank you to Elves for saying that sounds like a great idea, Roger. I would love that. And did you hear the JJK author is also thinking about ending the series in a year like MHA did? Really? So we got a lot of stuff to deal with then. Man, oh man, oh man. Thank you, Elves. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you to, let me see. We have, oh my gosh, so many members. So many members. Zydrix, Dango. Who else? Who else became a member during the stream before the gifting? Lots of people re-upped their memberships. Eduardo Canseco, Hoff, Pel the Indestructible, Zekin, Joshua Graydon, Sleepy Times, Hassan M, Shadow Order, Gagan Chima, Tom Lettingham, Aaron Ferguson, Lord Husito, Fomantis, King Taz, Carlos, Mike Mancool. Thank you to all of you for becoming members. Then, of course, all the different people who were in the chat hanging out today who became members from the gifted membership. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye, everybody. See, the nice thing is I've got my credits now, too. So in case I missed anybody, I got you. We're good. Look at this. I've told you guys, man, I brought this up on that hack stream, but like I really did. I leveled up my game. I really, really did. All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining. And thank you, by the way, to Shadow, who just donated at the very, very end as well. Appreciate you guys. Look at all these members, man. Look at this. Incredible. Mike Mancool saying, give me mod status. Oh, you know what, Mike? I did bring up that I was going to give you mod status. Let me give you that mod status as well. There you go. Bada bing, bada boom. Look at this. All these super chats, all these members. See, now I don't miss anybody. That's the beautiful thing about these credits is now I could play the credits and anybody who's like, oh, you missed saying thank you to me. Now I've got it right here. On the off chance that I missed anybody amidst all the conversations, I've got you right here. Oh, man. Amazing stream. Really, really amazing stream. Love you guys. All right. Take care, everybody.